Okay, so for this next institution, pardon me, we are going to be looking at the mass media. So in this first module, we're going to be talking about what is the media and the manifest or obvious surface functions of the media. So what is the media? Oftentimes we think of social media, we might think of audio, video media, what we see on TV. These are forms of media, but what is media basically? What does it mean? Well, the fundamental thing that all forms of media have in common is that they transmit meaning. They are a form of communication. However, unlike you and me talking face to face, media or a medium is communication through a third thing. So if I'm looking at you face to face, it is immediate communication. But media are the various ways in which we communicate through a third thing, not face to face, through a medium. This might be a written medium like a book. The original mass media was created by the printing press. It might be through video, through Skype, or through social media. All these things have in common is that they are forms of communication, and they are mediums of communication. Now, mass media in particular is media that is intended for and created for a massive or a very large audience. It's meant to go as much as global. So Karl Marx, for example, originally created the Communist Manifesto as a kind of mass media. It was printed in many different languages and was intended to inspire workers of the world to unite. Other kinds of mass media are broadcast. Broadcast is intended for people all the world over. Many of us may be sitting in our homes at 6 o'clock watching the same newscast, particularly this day and age. Social media are those media that are intended to create social networks and social connections. And that's their primary purpose, though, as we've seen, increasingly, people get news and other kinds of information on social media. So we've said that an institution is a set of positions and roles with particular social functions or meeting a basic social need. So what could media in our society, what purpose does it serve? What are those positions and roles? Well, many of us are consumers of media. The other key position is probably the producers of media and the distributors of media. All of these are important positions within the broader media network. Here we can look at some of the basic functions of media. One is pretty simple, communication. You pick up a newspaper, you pick up a book, it's one person communicating something to you through that paper medium. You download a book, it's the same thing. We, the news is communicating something to you. Films are communicating things to us. Just what they're communicating may not be obvious. We use media for entertainment. Surely over the next few months, many of us will be using a lot of media for entertainment as we are socially isolated. And it's used to inform. It's how we gain critical information about our world. Keep in mind, we didn't always have mass media. The printing press, some communications theorists show, which is essentially a whole academic discipline that looks at media. Communications theorists argue that the printing press revolutionized the world. Because if you think about it, before we could print things out easily and transmit them cheaply, only a few people could really afford books, could afford to learn what historians and some of the great thinkers had wanted to communicate. So having a mass media, the ability to transmit meaning to massive amounts of people really revolutionized the way our world works. So then, we've seen these manifest or obvious functions of media. It's not that hard to guess. But what might be some of the latent or hidden functions of media in our society? Next time on Introduction to Sociology.